Hello everyone, my name is Xiaogang Xu. Today I will present our paper, Learnable Feature Patches and Vectors for Boosting Low-Light Image Enhancement Without External Technology. First, we note that the low-light image enhancement task is a highly ill-posed problem. This means LIE method normally cannot fit the overall dataset well, and not generalized well. Besides the optimization of datasets and the network structure, one kind of category aims to add the additional reference into the network. The reference normally has chronology for the target scene, and so helps enhancement. One type is the data calculated from other device, such as event. However, such a device may not be available in practice. The second type of reference is normally the prediction from other pre-trained models, such as semantic segmentation network. The predictions of those networks are set as the reference. However, such networks can also produce some wrong predictions, which will cause the degradation in turn. Another type is a feature-level reference. For example, the features from the large-scale models that can cover various things in the real world. However, such reference often require heavy computations, and those models are often not trained for restoration. Some other current references are often discrete, which cause information loss. So, new strategy for building a feature-level reference is required, and we note that the current method overlooks the variable reference hidden within the training dataset itself. In this paper, we propose a new type of reference, which is called Learnable Feature Patches and Vectors, LFPVs. This is built on the following facts. First, the training set can be divided into two parts. The first part is DF, which is fully fitted by the network, and the second is DN, which is not fully fitted. The low-light enhancement network F can learn totally from DF, while partially from DN. This can be shown via this figure. LFPVs can be designed to learn those technologies in DN, and we set them as sets of feature patches and vectors for efficiency. The network can query from LFPVs to get the chronology of DN to obtain better results. Different feature vector and patches in LFPVs can be viewed as learnable nodes. They will be updated by two types of neural networks during training, which are sample updater and mutual updater. The details of them will be introduced later, and we first introduce the learning of LFPVs. The overall learning process can be viewed in the following figure. First, there is a training path without LFPVs, and the output is IN hat. This is a normal training path and is supervised via a ground truth. The training path pushes the network to learn knowledge as much as possible by itself. On the other hand, there is another path where the deepest feature is enhanced by querying LFPVs. This is the only difference, and this training path will promote the lightweight LFPVs to capture the remaining information not learned by the network. During the learning, we consider two types of update miner. In the first miner, the samples updater will utilize the extracted features from different samples and produce the update for LFPVs with the corresponding identity embedding. As for the mutual updater, it propagates the information from other vectors and patches in LFPVs to update the current one. We'll introduce them in details. Suppose there are L feature vectors and patches for LFPVs, and the channel number is C, patch size is K. For the update via SU will take the input of feature vectors or patches from the feature mappers of the training data, the current LFPVs vector and patches to update, and the corresponding identity embedding. The output is the residue, which can be added to LFPVs vector and patch, updating their values. As for MU, the input will include two LFPVs vectors and patches, as well as their identity embeddings. Those two vectors or patches are mutually updated randomly choice. In this way, the final update is formulated by adding the residual output by SU and MU. Moreover, in order to involve the learning of SU and MU into the training path, the updated LFPVs should be utilized during training, and we employ the attention miner. In other words, we will compute the attention map between the features in the network backbone and the LFPVs, and use this attention map to obey weighted feature FD bar to enhance the feature. The similar querying strategy is utilized for both vector and patch parts. And the update obeyed by querying both the vector and patch parts will be assumed together to get the final enhancement for the feature in the deepest layer of the network. Moreover, as we have mentioned, there are two loss training paths with two loss terms. The first loss term without LFPVs will encourage the network to learn as much as possible. The second will guide the SU and MU to formulate the effective LFPVs. Now we talk about the experiment. As we can see, our LFPVs only need a set of learnable feature vectors and patches, with additional lightweight networkers SU and MU during training and the corresponding loss term. So our method is plug and play, which can be utilized for all current low-light image enhancement methods. We chose several methods for experiment and conduct the experiment on several datasets, showing the effects and generalization of our strategy. Moreover, we also compare our method with other types of reference. As we can see, our method is better than other types of current reference to enhance the performance, and our method has the smallest additional parameter number. This is because our LFPVs are especially designed for LIE tasker, and its learning target is accurate, mainly for the knowledge not learned by the network itself. Furthermore, the querying process can take a full usage of all learned vectors and patches in LFPVs. Meanwhile, our method can also be utilized for LIE method that has their original reference. This is because our method requires no additional information to formulate LFPVs. They are learned via the original training datasets. Those are the visual comparisons for different methods with our strategy in varying datasets. As we can see, combined with our method, the visual quality is improved. Moreover, we also conduct a large-scale user study. We ask participants to decide which one is better, ours, baseline, or sum. As we can see, our method has a higher ratio to be choice, showing the visual advantage of our method. Furthermore, low-light image enhancement can also help the downstream taskers. For example, the image classification and semantic segmentation during that time. As we can see, the method combined with our strategy can have an increased performance in the downstream taskers. Thanks for your watching.